Well, let's call the December meeting of Batavia Township to order. And would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Walt Donnett,
Present.
Troy Trusana,
Here.
John West,
Here.
Jennifer Zorn, here, Lee Tracy.
Here. We'll also indicate in the minutes that we have our intern Ray Mendez with us. We have our BATV person Audrey Karff with us, and we have Howard Katz and Ron Link and Bill Kettering, and we have Tammy Cavanaugh and Chris Long. So, first, next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the November meeting. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of November 14th?
So moved.
Moved by Tusana. Second by Zorn. Are there any additions or corrections, questions with regard to the minutes? If not, then I will ask the clerk to call the roll on approval of the minutes from the November meeting.
Trusana,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Zorn, yes, Donnett,
Yes.
Tracy.
Yes. And before we take a look at the approval of the bills, and you also received bank statements for the month of November, and also the budget reports. Just want to primarily just kind of bring to your attention that the total balances in the checking accounts are now about 1.18 million. And that being the case, we are switching to the Wind Trust Bank in St. Charles, the checking accounts and money market accounts in order to achieve a better interest rate. Those are in process. I've done the signatures. John West has done signatures as the other signature on the checking accounts. And we will transition to that bank shortly. If you've noticed the budget reports, clearly we have some issues with the general fund and the general assistance fund particularly. So there's a kind of a challenge to keep things under control with regard to the budget. And as we look forward to the budget, the next budget year of 2024-25, we're going to face some challenges which will require some issues. Legal fees will continue to be a problem. I also want to report that we are now delinquent for the annual audits for fiscal year 2021, 2022, and 2022-23. We have satisfied the state controller's office that we're working on it. And I have engaged the services of Sikich to do the audits for those 2 years, which we will begin in January. The bad news is that the fees will be about twice what we've been experienced previously. So that's another budgetary issue. They also mentioned that we are transitioning to the new telephone service during the week of December 20th. So shortly we will be switching our phone service. And I just want to bring to your attention, which you already know, that there's going to be a Batavia Township holiday separation next door on Tuesday, December 19th. I wish to assure you that one of the interesting things here is that we are not going to spend a penny of township funds. We're going to cover it otherwise. But all invited. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Why are we switching phone services?
Primarily because during the month, I think it was October, that we were actually, the phone service was down for a week.
A little over a week.
It was over a week. So, it's just simply not acceptable.
Yeah, did we get refund anything?
No. But,
We get drop calls and it was.
so that,
Wow.
it was okay for a while. We originally was Call One, then it was bought out by Peerless. It was seemed to be okay for a while. But we have now engaged the services of
Yeah,
a
it's not
local
here.
consultant
Report too.
who's in Aurora, who's very attentive. So Chris and I are happy. And so we're all gonna switch. And everything, I hope, will move smoothly.
Wow, week.
Anything else?
Yes, are you gonna talk about the current budgets and where they're at? Or did you just cover that?
Well, I just mentioned it briefly. If you want to take a look at
There's only one
the budget.
thing.
No, I just got a question why the administrative expenses are already depleted from the assessor's fund and already from
I was wondering that.
From the,
Yeah, I'm wondering
Yeah.
that too.
what's that?
I'm wondering that as well.
Yeah,
mean,
Some
is
of
this-
it may be due to what's charged up against that. But the bottom line is that the assessor's fund is on track otherwise. And so all that will mean is that we will simply, we'll run a deficit in that budget category, but we're not running a deficit in the assessor's fund total budget. And I don't think we will. But we simply have to take a look at what goes against that budget item, which in essence is everything that isn't payroll or dues, travel, and training. Everything else ends up there.
Is there something unusual or out of the ordinary this year?
I don't think so.
Unexpected?
I don't think so.
So why is the budget 25,000 if nothing unexpected has occurred and we're already out?
Because we didn't budget enough. So what we need to do is, and that's what Tammy and I will do, is to take a look and see what is being charged against that and attempt to control those expenditures. Now, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, that's fine. And I just wondered what was going on with that. So now this budget that we're gonna talk about a little bit later,
Levy.
the levy,
Yeah,
so we don't have to break it down into each one of those categories, but we'll have enough to cover our overall budget, right?
well, we haven't done the budget. That's the next step.
Okay.
That's the challenge, is then to go to the budget, which we'll do in the spring.
Okay.
The budget for the next fiscal year. And what will happen is, I'll give you an idea of what's going to happen in the general fund, is we're going to have to reduce the expenditures we do with the arrangements we make with social service agencies.
Okay.
That's what the
I
big-
actually have a note down here
That's the
in
big chunk of money.
my cover page or agenda when I was looking at this over the week. We pay to social services, and if we've got some GA deficits in our own town, then we should get the money from them.
Yep,
So, all right.
that's
One
what
of my
will
future
happen.
questions.
yeah.
Yeah, there's some big questions in the budget for the next fiscal year in terms of accounting services. I'm gonna have to budget a lot more than we budgeted this for the current year.
You say that sickage is twice as expensive as
Yep.
the former? So they want 23.8, which means that he wanted 12?
Chalberg,
Yeah.
yeah, and
So why did we only budget 6?
because I was expecting it to be less.
Why?
Well,
It always
because
has been.
it always has been.
What's, Chalberg has always been less than,
Well, it comes.
Well, we
It
never-
comes. It
we
comes.
never looked around before.
It comes out. The part of the accounting. Part of that also comes out of the road fund.
oh, so this 6 is,
That
Like
six,
half.
that 6 is just the general fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
And frankly, because Bob Schulberg was doing the audit for some 30 years, he was charging us less than the time he was actually spending on it.
So does half of the, you charge your road district half?
Essentially.
Is that what you've been doing?
Actually, what happened was that Bob Schulberg's, when he sent his bill, he apportioned it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
between the general fund, the road fund, and general assistance. So, do we have any other, kind of budgetary?
I do have a question. Can I
Okay.
ask about the legal fees? I'm new to this, so
Okay.
just,
Okay,
and you say in '24 they're gonna continue to be a problem. So what exactly are we paying legal
well,
fees for?
yeah,
And-
okay. Over the last 2 years, we have spent a lot of legal fees dealing with personnel issues. I will also mention that we have part of it also, we have a human rights, an Illinois human rights claim against us for discrimination. That could go on for a long time. The good news is that we now have a date scheduled for mediation, January 24th. That's much earlier than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to go to mediation with our attorney in attempt to get them to settle something.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it make more sense to just settle than keep having legal fees?
Well, we don't know what it is.
Right.
Because
Okay.
we don't know what they do. We don't know what the other party wants.
Got it. Okay.
And can you go to mediation without knowing what they
That
want
we'll find out.
at mediation?
Yes, probably. I'm assuming we will.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
To avoid going, any further, hopefully.
Let's cross their fingers.
Yeah. Any other concerns, questions? You still have questions?
Maybe for a later date.
There were,
You know what? I'm just curious if,
before.
do we have insurance to cover
Well, yeah.
lawsuits? I guess that's
Yes,
probably
we
a
have, we
deeper
have, we have
question.
coverage for liability insurance with Torma. Problem is it has a $60,000 deductible.
Okay, understand. That's all. Thank you.
I'm hoping we never reach $60,000.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, before you came on the board, for the last 2 years, we've had, we'll address this issue down the line, and that all the executive sessions we've had to discuss personnel, but there have been numerous ones.
Okay.
Any other questions about,
We can give her copies of
we should give you copies of
I
it.
just was curious because I know.
I know.
We're low on, I think we're negative and.
Yep.
So that's concerning.
It is concerning. So any other, questions about that before we have a motion to deal with the bills? You've got the general fund bills. So, if we can have a motion to approve the general fund bills to be paid during the month of December in the amount of $82,301.94.
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion by West. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Second by Zorn. Any questions? I will highlight a couple of the big ones. There's a big one on the assessor's fund for Cerrone Computer Consulting. Tammy can comment about that, but that is our annual fee for the PAMS program, which runs the property search program, in essence. It's a big chunk of money. We also have a significant charge this month for Wright and Kane. And actually, it's 3 months. The problem with Wright and Kane is that the billing is always behind the time. Generally speaking, Wright and Kane costs are greatly increasing. I think we should be okay for the year, but it's a little unknown as to what is going to happen with Wright and Kane as we go forward. What happens with Wright and Kane is that we end up at the end of the fiscal year not have been paid all of the bills for the up to date. So it carries over. I will also mention there's a big U.S. Bank credit bill. A good chunk of that is the TOI conference, which was of that total amount of $3,500. $2,900 of it was the Township Officials Illinois Conference for housing and other expenses related to the conference, because we had a whole lot of people go. And any other questions about the general fund bills? Good, that's it. Yeah, let's have the clerk call the roll on the approval of the payment of the general fund bills in the amount of $82,301.94.
West,
Yes?
Zorn,
Yes.
Donnet,
Yes.
Susanna,
Yes.
Tracy.
Yes. The road fund bills, do I have a motion to approve the road fund bills in the amount of $21,613.54?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second motion by West, seconded by Donnet. Any discussion, questions?
Is everything good? You on schedule?
Everything's good.
Awesome. I
The road-
didn't see any red lines in your budgets.
The
so-
road district is well managed.
Well,
I've had more time to do it.
Well, yeah, there's fewer surprises, I think,
yeah.
probably. I hope. Any other questions? So let's have the clerk call the roll on the payment of the road fund bills.
West,
Yes.
Zorn,
Yes.
Donnet,
Yes.
Susanna,
Yes.
Tracy.
Yes. The next item on the agenda is the decennial committees. Again, we have everyone present. There's a package here. And what I'd like to do, given I want to control the time, simply for procedures related to the decennial committee, we've been working with our intern. We have the task of actually putting the report together.
Troy?
I am going to suggest that we are not going to finish this until spring. We have plenty of time. There's no rush. And so what I'm thinking is that we will probably have another meeting of the committees in March or April. In the meantime, we'll work together to actually put the verbiage of the report together. However, what I thought we could do in our time that is today is to perhaps entertain any questions, comments, suggestions with regard to some particular areas, like the programs and services provided by Batavia Township. On this, I listed that the township essentially does assessment of real estate parcels, provides general assistance, coordinates some social service for township residents, sponsors Wright and Kane. Does anybody have any questions or comments about any of the services, those or others that are provided by the township? What we will do in the report is to expand upon those areas.
I think maybe we should have a month or so to look this over and see if we got any more questions.
Let's do that.
I mean, you already said you're gonna move it to the spring, but.
Yeah, I'm in no, there's no rush to complete this before the end of 2024, really.
I would also like to see the monies reflect the levy amount, not the budget.
Okay,
Because the levy is what we spend. The
okay.
budget is where we quit spending.
Okay, so what we want to do is that's a whole nother question, is to how much of the number,
I don't know that monies even have to be in there.
well, that's my question. Do we really want to put the monies, either of the budget or the levy, in the report?
Not for me.
That's a whole nother,
What's Ron Johnson doing?
They haven't commented on that part. Yeah, they haven't said anything about what they want to do with the money.
Okay.
I know that Sugar Grove has included the money, but they're still working on their road district report.
Good.
Yeah,
Can I ask, did you put this together?
Not that one, no.
No,
That
I
one?
did.
Okay, all right. And I appreciate you putting that together with the list on here, there's a lot to look at right now and think about if there's anything additional or missing, so.
One of the things that we'll also do is because Ray's been working with Aurora, Sugar Grove, and St. Charles, and they are at various stages in their reports. So what we'll do is we'll sort of use some of the same format. I think they will look similar.
Yeah. I've been using the same template essentially for
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah. And Ray has been going to their meetings.
So far, we're second place right now. The most progressed is Sugar Grove's. I believe Thursday is Aurora's second township decennial meeting, so we're a little bit behind. But again, like we said, we still have till the end of 2024.
Let me also mention that the end of the semester at Aurora University is December 15th.
It is, yes.
So Ray will be done in December
On paper.
on paper, but we're gonna keep him busy after the term is over. Among other things, you're working with the Sugar Grove
Yeah, I'm working.
Sanitary District or something.
I got they were looking for an intern. I can't.
You can do that.
I don't want to,
Okay.
spin
So we're
myself
still
out.
in the infancy stages.
Okey doke.
Bill and I are here for the long haul, right, Bill?
Yeah.
Any other concerns, questions about services provided by the road district? I also listed, because it's part of what is important, I think, in terms of the township, our various social service agreements we have, which amounts to $115,000, which we'll flesh out and give that information. But we have to, we'll entertain the question of how much numbers we want to provide. It's probably not really that important. I did attach the so-called Cox report that you might want to consider. For those of us who went to Springfield also heard Dr. Cox talk about it. In essence, the notion is, and what his findings in looking at a lot of units of government, is that the smaller the unit of government, the more efficient and the less costly. So aside from the notion in Illinois that we have too many units of government, that may not be altogether bad. And I think that you can defend townships because they are smaller, but they are probably more efficient and probably less expensive than other units of local government. So we want to, emphasize that. Anything else? So, we'll work on this in the coming months and solicit, your comments, and we will likely have a meeting of the committees again in the spring to approve the final document. Make sense?
Sounds good.
Right.
Anything else related to that? Anything from our
Nothing here.
experts? Howard Katz has a lot of experience with townships, and that's one of the strengths that he has here. Bill Kettering has taught American government for a long time, and Ron Link has a lot of school board experience. So I think that's valuable,
Yes.
input, in terms of talking about what we're doing and what local units of local government in general are doing. The next, anything else? I'm going to go to the assessor's report. Do we have an assessor's report?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're working on entering sales and permits, catching up, and I'm having our new field person, Steve, go to neighborhoods and take new photos and update things that we might be missing, decks, patios, things like that. So we're starting that process and going through our files to see what we can get approved for disposal.
And we're done with appeals.
We are done.
We're done with the appeals.
Yes. Let's hope they stay done. If there were any corrections made, they still have an opportunity to file, but the county hasn't sent all those notices out yet, so hopefully we're done. But overall, we're done. If that makes sense.
Any questions for Tammy? How about a road commissioner's report?
We're enjoying this weather, actually.
There's no snow.
Yeah. So the leaf pickup went 2 weeks longer than we initially would have wanted it to. 1 week was in the snow, which wasn't any fun. But the next week we got them, weather was good, we got them all picked up. People still have some leaves out, but last Friday the leaf machine was cleaned up. It takes a day, 2 guys a day to clean that. And so it's put away till spring. We will make a round in the spring and clean up the excess. So typically what happens as Thanksgiving comes to an end that weekend, we're usually fighting snow right off the bat. So we're scrambling to set trucks up and put the leaf equipment away. And so it's been kind of nice this week. We could kind of do it at our own pace, go through the trucks, do a little more cleaning up, getting ready. There were some electronic issues with the computer systems and stuff. So but that's all behind us, so we're looking real good. So now we'd like the ground to freeze so we can get out and start trimming trees and snow. We're doing good.
Do we have any trustee comments, reports?
I don't have anything. I asked kind of the questions as we were going on.
Yeah.
And so it looks like we're on schedule with everything. That's cool.
And I don't see any public. I guess we're all part of the public, but it's anybody else. Next item is, old business, and the primary job here is for us to adopt the levies. You have before you a revised township. I revised this a bit and actually reduced the level a little bit. I want to make sure that we don't exceed the tax cap. And so we now have a Batavia Township tax levy in a total amount of $1,351,000, rather than the old one of $1,351,111.
You changed it by $111.
Well, I changed it by 1,000 and $350, yeah, by $1,100. Yeah,
But for your whole levy?
yeah.
Well, that's not 5%.
No, it's not 5%, it's because by we're gonna be about 6.1%, which takes care of the cost of the increase in inflation plus new construction, I think, as near as I can determine.
So what was the levy last year?
The total levy last year was $1,200,000, well, actually, it was $1,273,192.14.
That's what you levied, or is that what you got?
That's what we got. It was reduced by 1.61% from what was requested, because we exceeded the tax cap. And so this is an increase over that of a little over 6%.
That's what we always do yearly, like 6%.
Roughly, yeah. We want, generally speaking, I think we want to levy the cost of living expense plus new construction.
And what's your new levy?
New levy is $1,351,000.
Okay, all right, I misheard. I misheard first time around.
Yeah. That's the total levy. So what I need is a motion to approve the Batavia Township tax levy for the year 2023, 2024. This is the tax year 2023, taxes to be collected in 2024, in the total amount of $1,351,000. What will happen is that, assuming you approve this, we'll file it with the county clerk.
So move.
Moved by Tusana, second by Donnet. Any other questions, comments? If not, let's have the clerk call the roll on the tax levy ordinance for 2023, 2024.
Susanna,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Zorn,
Yes.
Donick,
Yes.
Tracy.
Yes. So we will have a copy of the township tax levy signed by the clerk and the supervisor and filed with the county clerk.
You list two levies. Is that the combined total, or?
The combined, well, actually,
The township and the road?
no, that's just the township.
The township.
We haven't
Okay,
dealt with
done
the road district levy yet. So, the road district levy doesn't change from what you saw last month.
I'll take over.
You'll take over.
Yep. If you look at the road levy, this year's levy went up 1.6%. Trying to hold it down as best I can. And you'll notice in the general road fund side, which we levy $100,000 under administration and contractual services, that $47,000 goes to the city. So, and that's delivered to them right from the county, so we never see that money. So, our budget, our levy numbers, are less than what it looks like they are from what we get. So, but the new levy is $619,050.
What's maintenance personnel?
Well, if you look at the levy, this is just really a form.
Okay.
If you look at the budget, those are the categories on the general ledger.
Okay.
Now, in the budget, you notice my budget is higher than my levy, but that's because for 40 years, we've been building up like a savings account to cover things like a $60,000 attorney fees and
Right,
stuff
right.
like that, so, or $50,000 truck repairs we had a couple years ago.
Yeah,
So I like to try to carry over about what we levy.
okay.
So what I look at every year on my record-keeping side is how much was carried over in each fund, and it goes up and down. Some years I'll spend more than what I levy, and then other years I'll make a little more than I levy, but I try to keep it about the same, because what we end up with is we got some big expenditures that come up from time to time, like a new truck. We've been blessed that we've been able to save money ahead of time, and we haven't had to borrow money and pay interest. And then we're gonna have a major road project coming up here probably the year after next. So that by having a little excess, it takes the pressure off. But it's taken 40 years to build that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So Bob White was a good administrator, and I tried to follow in his footsteps.
Great.
So that's all I got.
So, I think we had a motion to approve the road district levy, did we? Did
I'll
you?
make a motion to approve the road
Okay, we have
district
a,
levy.
this, oh, I thought we did. Okay, we have a motion made by Wes, second by
Second.
Tusana. Any other questions? If not, then let's have the clerk call the roll on the road district levy.
West,
Yes.
Zorn,
Yes.
Janet. Susanna,
Yes.
Tracy.
Yes.
Excuse me.
So, there's no new business? Is there anything else anybody wants to say? I want to make sure that everybody is invited to our holiday celebration across the hall if you're not working.
Can you save those drink vouchers for us if you can't make it?
No, we'll take care of it for you.
Yeah, you better will. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We've invited we have a whole lot of other township folks, City of Batavia people.
Are you expecting him to show?
No. Some will show.
And Sugar Grove should be going.
Sugar Grove, yeah, there's some Sugar Grove people
That's
coming.
nice.
I know that there are some city people coming. We have a couple people coming from Batavia Apartments, other administrators, not residents. Not residents.
All right.
430.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all right.
I'm predicting 60 people in attendance. We'll see how close I am.
Are they holding this open, a special just for this event?
Yeah, they are normally closed on Tuesdays,
Okay.
so they are opening for us.
Well, that's nice of them. Grainology, Bruce
Well-
Distillery.
That's all right, they've been making a lot of noise for a year.
Still.
Well, just the smell from last meeting. I
Yeah.
think I'm still.
That
No?
was pretty bad.
That's all.
And he,
What?
That's all it takes.
Yeah, yeah.
actually, it's a very
Floor garden.
interesting place if you take the whole tour. So, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Thank you. Any
I'll
second? Seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No.
We're all good, thank you. Happy holidays.
The meeting is adjourned.
Trying to